All right, guys, it's the holiday season, and I'm asking Santa Claus for NBA action. So I'm partnering up with the DraftKings Sportsbook because they always are hooking up our customers, especially new ones. All new customers bet $5 or more on any pregame wager and get $150 in bonus bets instantly by using my promo code DCTV at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Look, we all love hoops. We all love basketball. And everybody always tries to act as though they know everything about basketball. Well, let's put your knowledge to the test. All new customers bet $5 or more on any pregame wager and get $150 in bonus bets instantly by using my promo code DCTV at the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Hey, guys, at the DraftKings Sportsbook, make that crown yours. Another episode of Funky and the Champ. I'm fat. Jamal's like skinny fat. Right? You're skinny fat.
Take it back.
Today I chose violence.
I'm suing. Sue them. I had the mute on for the fight. Sorry, Daniel. I did mute you.
You guys are going to be lifetime enemies because of the shit you say the moment you get a microphone in your face. Bro, you're crazy. Just as a general thought, your thought on Sean Strickland as a general thought is what?
Are we on record? Is this on the record? You know what? He's been saying some pretty smart stuff, Daniel. I reposted when he went off on Colby, and he pretty much said, like, Colby's trying to play the MAGA guy, and you guys are falling for it. And Colby doesn't care about you. He is a degenerate, low-life scumbag. So Stop cheering for him. Did you hear what he said about Leon's dad? That that's over the line. He kept going. He kept going, right?
Yeah.
So I thought, wow.
Your general thought is swinging in the direction of you love Sean Strickland.
Well, I thought he was wild. And I think he's getting more and more of a voice, and it's making more and more sense. And obviously, especially when then you hear about his background and what he went through growing up, it kind of makes a lot more sense. And I think, what I really like about him, and it's what I like about anybody. I like this about you, Daniel. You're consistent. He is consistent. Like, listen, I tweeted, Daniel, I saw them in the crowd. And I said, they're going to fight. I don't know why UFC put them together. Like, that was, and then sure enough, 1 minute later, they fought. It was like, well, duh, what did you expect? Holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So welcome to a brand new episode of Funky and the Champ. I'm Daniel Cormier. That's Ben Askren. I just kind of wanted to get Ben's general thoughts on Sean Strickland. I didn't know. Obviously, now you guys know his general thoughts. Or do you know his general thoughts? Because he did have to ask if we're on record first. And when he asked if we are on record first, did he hold back? That's the question. Did Ben hold back in terms of his real thoughts?
I don't think so. Some of the stuff I think maybe goes a little too far. I don't know if you heard about, he went in on Sean O'Malley, which I don't know. Maybe he might be right on that one too, though. He might be. You never know.
Yeah. You're so crazy, bro.
And
dude, is he the smartest guy in the world, though? Because he was the first person that brought back to light the whole Ian Gary and the WAG thing and all the other stuff, right? So he's always like in the middle of something.
Yeah.
But last weekend he was in the middle of really something with Dricus Du Plessis. They're in the crowd, and as you said, you were wondering why did they put them so close together?
Why did they do, Daniel? Why did they do it?
I really don't know. I don't know how you missed that with him. There are fighters that you can put sitting next to someone they're going to fight down the line. Sean Strickland doesn't seem like that type of fighter. So my question to you is, does it make you more excited for the fight? Or is it just like, well, come see, come saw, right?
I was excited for it already. I think it's going to be a good fight. Du Plessis, we've talked about him on the show. He looks kind of awkward in what he does, but he is He's really successful. I did hear, I was in Australia. It was a great place. If you've never been to Sydney, Daniel, I'm going to recommend it highly. Have you been there?
I've been to Sydney multiple times. What do I look like? A fucking country bumpkin from Louisiana that's never traveled the world. So
You
you're
probably didn't
telling,
go
so
by the
you're
ocean, though.
pretend
You would have got
I
eaten
was
by a
in
shark.
I
You
was
look
in
tasty.
Australia just very recently. Well, I mean, it's such an insult. Sean Strickland fought Israel Adesanya in Australia.
Daniel, I don't have your travel schedule. I know
But
you
I
go a
mean,
lot of
Ben, we talk
places.
constantly.
Yeah, but I
I
don't
think
say,
that was
like, where's Daniel at today? Okay. Do you love Sydney or not? And then I'm going to tell you something about what I heard.
okay. So I think Sydney's pretty cool, but it was cold
Okay.
when we went there, right? Were you there like
Oh,
in
I
the
went
summer or was
summer.
it?
Yeah.
I was there in the
Beaches.
winter, so it was a little cold. So yeah, it was okay. So what did you hear?
So here's what I heard. There's, I went to a lot of gyms. I was teaching wrestling seminars. Um, I heard
Can they
some
wrestle?
rumors that maybe Robert Whitaker wasn't 100% at full health, but he's not the kind of guy who's going to make excuses. So
Really?
yeah, and we both, at least I'm pretty sure we both said it after the Du Plessis fight. Is like, wow, I thought Robert Whitaker was a significant favorite there. I was kind of
I
surprised
just have
on
never seen Robert Whitaker get beat, especially in that way.
like that. So I think we were both surprised. And so yeah, I heard he was dealing with some pretty serious injuries, but he's pulled out a handful of times and he just he didn't want to pull out again. I don't know those to be true. I don't know how good my sources were, but I heard it multiple times.
That's what I want to know. How many times did you hear it?
Yeah.
And what did they say exactly? Like, what type of injuries was Robert Whitaker dealing with, Ben?
Well, I don't want to tell you about all his
But if you're going to tell it, then you might as well tell it. The fight's over. It already cost him. It already cost him
Yeah,
as much as
it was something with his ankle where he couldn't train very well. And both times I heard it, someone said the same body part.
Really? So
Yeah.
that might be true.
So it might be
So
true.
how much of a factor do you think that played into the fight with Du Plessis? Because right now, most of the excitement about Dricus is because of what he did to Robert Whitaker, because we had never seen anybody do that to Robert Whitaker. So if that was the case and Rob was hurt, does that take a little bit off of it then?
A little bit, but the thing about Du Plessis and Sean Strickland is Sean Strickland has let people hit him before. Du Plessis hits hard, and he is kind of awkward. And sometimes those awkward people, they're the worst ones to fight because the punches just come from weird angles. And so I still think Du Plessis is probably going to connect a few times. I mean, I think Sean Strickland's probably going to win the fight, but I'm definitely not ruling out Dricus winning.
But that's what I was going to ask you, right? Because when I see for years Kamaru Usman refusing to go up to 185, partly because he's friends with Izzy, but even when Alex became the champion, there was no talk of him going to 185.
Yeah.
Sean Strickland becomes a champ now, and Leon Edwards is immediately talking about going to 185.
I hate it.
Kamaru Usman was immediately talking about going to 185. What is that? Like, why is he this? It's a bit, honestly, it feels like they feel like there's a beatable champion, so I'm gonna take my shot. Why is Sean Strickland overlooked still?
Yeah. I mean, it's a good question. Probably because he's been beat relatively recently. He lost to
Pereira. Pereira knocked him out.
He lost to Cannonier also not that long ago, right? So we have seen him lose. So that's probably why. I hate Leon Edwards moving up, though. I like Leon Edwards. I think he's great, but I think he needs to clean out the division. I think you need to clean out the division before you can move up. So I think he's got to face Bilal and Shavkat at least. And if someone else emerges, he needs to take care of them. Once you clean your division, then go on up and have some fun.
So has that kind of lost his luster a little bit, the double champ thing? Is it annoying watching it? Like everybody kind of wants to do it.
Well, it's annoying because it's like there's divisions, right? We have weight classes for a reason. And when you're doing it just like kind of all over the place, you're holding up these divisions. So it's like, okay, Bilal has won 7 in a row. He probably should get a title shot. Or Shavkat's won 18 in a row. He should probably get a title shot. And now Leon's going to go up, right? Well, he's going to put that division on hold for, 12 months, 9 months, something like that?
You know what's, for me, it's that Conor McGregor was the first person to do that in 2016. It had never happened. Since then, Amanda, myself, Henry, Dillashaw's tried, Volkanovski's tried, Izzy's tried. So many people have tried now to do it when it was something that was so unheard of. And I believe that now these guys at 170 are like, They feel like Sean Strickland's beatable.
Yeah, yeah.
I talk to people close to Du Plessis. They believe it is an afterthought that he gets through Sean Strickland.
Really?
Like, they believe that he is so far ahead of Sean Strickland that it will not be competitive. I don't know how you can watch that last fight and feel like that.
Yeah. That's wild.
You think it's crazy?
I think that's pretty crazy to make a statement that bold for Dricus Du Plessis. Yeah, I think that's pretty wild.
You think do you think if Leon Edwards was to go up though, do you think he can compete with those guys?
Man, yeah, Leon's really
he's good,
impressive.
man.
But could he outstrike Sean? He could, but I'm not like he's way better than Sean. I don't feel that way at all.
No, I'm not saying he's way better than Sean, but I'm saying like it would seem as though the style matchup would be as ideal for him as anything he's going to find, right? Because at some point, one of those wrestlers at 185 is going to find a way to that championship. And then it becomes difficult. But I mean, does it really become difficult? Because we've seen Leon Edwards in there with wrestling dudes, and they can't do nothing with him.
He's actually a pretty good wrestler.
He's gotten better, bro.
Well, I'll tell you, I noticed it for the first time. This is a long time. This is when I was fighting still. I went to London. He fought Gunnar Nelson, who's a pretty damn good wrestler, grappler type guy. And he really schooled. I expected what I expected in that fight. If it was grappling exchange, that Gunnar would be able to get the better of him, both in the wrestling and the ground. And that if it stayed on the feet, then Leon would win. But Gunnar got beat in every area. Leon beat
every
him
area.
In grappling,
Dude,
wrestling.
Leon Edwards is so good, bro. He's so good that he makes it look easy. And people don't like when it looks easy. People don't like that. They don't like how easy it looked with Colby Covington last weekend. Well, before we move on.
One thing about that, though, is I think he almost started getting overconfident because he made a few errors, right, by getting a little too aggressive in the grappling.
We're bouncing around really quick. Let's button up the Sean Strickland stuff before we go to Leon Edwards.
I'm excited.
So, but does it make you more excited? And how about Sean Strickland actually telling those kids to move out of the way?
Yeah,
that dude's crazy.
This is a great American. This is the kind of guy we need. We don't need Colby. He's a scumbag. We need Sean Strickland. That's a great American. He's a gentleman. He said, "Kids, can you please move? I'm about to jump over and act like a freaking wild man, attack this guy." And sure enough, he jumps over the chair and starts like, I don't know why you want to punch him on top of the head. It seems like a bad place to punch him. And I think he should have been a little more careful going over the chair, like make a nice
slide through it because it's all folding chairs.
That's what happened. I believe he kind of slid through it, but he kind of caught onto his head or something.
In the outside the octagon fights are crazy because although you're like a fighter, but when you're like out there and you're fighting with somebody else, you don't really know what's happening, and so it's like weird, right? Because you end up rolling around, falling, then you're underneath the person or you're on top of them. It's a fighting it just in general public is not like the thing. Like it's amazing that we ever did it, like in college and all that. What were we thinking?
Fights in college?
Bro, I got into so many fights at Oakgrove.
Really?
It was bad.
Why? Because you were just out there just antagonizing people.
I was a tough guy. I wanted to show that I was a tough guy. I wanted to show that
you got chippy with them.
People. Was that?
You got chippy with them first, though. You teased them.
Constantly starting arguments because I knew I had the ultimate. I had the ultimate weapon in my pocket with the wrestling. So I would fight all these bad people. The people not bad. I mean, I was the bad guy, but I'd fight these guys and they just couldn't stop me from taking them down. So it would make it really easy. All right, bro. So those guys fought in the stands. They're going to fight in the cage in January, and I believe it's going to be a very fun fight, and I can't wait. It's from Toronto in January. So Saturday we were in Vegas though for Leon Edwards and Colby Covington. Those guys had history because anytime you fight Colby, you have history. Colby will find a way to kind of plug at you until eventually he finds something that sticks.
Yeah.
He says something about Leon Edwards' father at the press conference. And Leon immediately, everything about him changed. He threw that bottle at Colby and everything changed whenever their interactions, Dude, Leon's whole team was trying to kill Colby. And I'm telling you, if you can go to YouTube, there's a video on Leon Edwards' pass. And it was like the gangster that the UFC is trying to hide, right? Because Leon Edwards had some ties back where he's from growing up.
Mm-hmm.
That part of Leon Edwards came out, and Colby Covington did not react well to it. To the point that at the face-off, you could see him almost mouthing.
Do you think he said that? You think he said that? You think he said I was in character?
Ben, UFC Embedded subtitled it, but then they removed it.
But I couldn't hear it.
They subtitled what he was saying, Ben.
So what you're saying is that if Colby said I wouldn't have said that, they would have changed it. I
think that it may have slipped through the cracks, because you don't want a guy throwing cold water on the fire that is the fight. Because essentially, if he's like, I'm just playing, it's telling all these people that we want to buy this pay-per-view, this ain't real.
Nah, but they love it.
See with Colby Covington is real.
You know, WWE, they're in character. You love that. You love it.
Yeah, but I'm
another angle.
Yeah, but I'm a simple man. I'm a simple man. Not everybody can buy into it. I've taken a few friends to WWE. They don't like it.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it added another. I thought it really, really added another angle. And you know, it actually, because I heard they subtitle it. I saw the clip, and I thought, there's no way, right? Because Colby has almost always his whole fight career, and even I remember him back in wrestling days, right? He would just like hothead, aggressive, blah 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 blah, you know. And so I thought they mistitled it, but the way he fought made me think that was what he really said, because he fought with a level of fear. And you know, I was thinking about like why that could be or why that was. And I remember when I the longest gap in my career was when I retired, right? I retired for the first time, and I got traded and I came back, and I think it was 20 months maybe between my two fights. Like, it was kind of a long time because I was retired for a while. Something to that effect. And you know, the whole, like, the lead up is fun. Like, I love trash talking. I didn't really trash talk Robbie, but I love it, right? And then at some point you look him in the face and you're like, I gotta fight this guy. Like, he's gonna try to hurt me. And you know, it's like there's a realization there, because in practice you're fighting, but we're not really trying to hurt each other, not really trying to do it. And then it's like, this is a cage fight. This is real. Like, this guy's gonna try to hurt me. I gotta try to hurt him back. And I felt like Colby had been doing the media circuit, had been trying to be famous, and then he was like, shit, this guy's gonna try to hurt me.
And I pissed him off. And I pissed him off.
And I pissed him off. Yes. Don't you think that's what happened? That's my only explanation.
So my thing, I thought that there's like this thing on Twitter, and it's like when keeping it real goes wrong. People say that.
Yeah.
You can almost be so real that you paint yourself into a corner. And when you paint yourself into that corner, now you got to deal with the actions or the behaviors that you've exhibited publicly.
Yes.
I don't know that when he came up with that line, because here's the deal. I don't know if you go off the cuff and everything you did at those press conferences, but I didn't. I always, not even at the press conference, but post-fight interviews, you always have a little bit of an idea of what you want to say, because you know it has to resonate.
Makes sense.
I don't know if he knew that he would get that reaction, because the reaction he got was from Rocky and his team, but also Sean Strickland, also Paddy Pimblett, and Ian. Everybody. I
don't know. How do you not know that's a scumbag thing to say? You got to be pretty,
of course. But like, dude, I think I don't know that he knew it would get that response, because for the first time, you know, MMA fans are usually pretty split. It felt almost as though it was universally agreed that he was completely out of line. Regardless regardless of like what it does to sell pay-per-views, everybody felt like it was completely out of line. And then when he got that, now you're stuck in a corner with just your team, who are probably thinking to themselves, this dude shouldn't have said that. And then when you get in that octagon, now you got President Trump out there. You got all these people, and most of these people in there want to see you get your ass kicked. So you think you get hit, bang. All of a sudden, you're like, I don't want to give them the satisfaction of watching me get my ass kicked. And then Leon Edwards is better than you expected. And that's where the problems come.
But why do you think you didn't go after him right away? That's where I was like, I feel like we've never seen that version of Colby.
I really got to ask him. I got to ask him. I need to get an opportunity to talk to him and ask him, like, what was it? Because and I'll ask him straight up, like, were you afraid? I mean, it just felt a little bit like he was a bit afraid.
What's the other reason?
I don't know. We've never seen him not pressure. It's his calling card. It's all he does from start to finish. He weaponizes his card. Bro, the entire fight build, we constantly talked about his cardio, how he weaponized his cardio.
Because that was the way to win.
Bro, it really was his only way to beat Leon Edwards. He was never going to outstrike him. Yeah. And I also knew that Covington would not be able to have as much success as he did against Usman, because while Kamaru is a really good striker, Kamaru was wanting to just get his hands on him, so he would take shots to hit him. Yeah. Leon Edwards is too slick for that. He wasn't going to play that game. So I think Colby got a little scared, bro. I hate to say a cage fighter that goes to an octagon to fight gets afraid. I think he might have got a little scared.
Might have got a little scared. You know what I chuckled at? Because he was just missing. You know, I don't like Colby. So well, first of all, he raised his hand after the fight. It was like, oh my God.
Yo, wait, did he win? Did he win? Because bro,
stop.
Ben.
Stop.
I had tweets with people going 3-2 Colby, and I'm like, no,
nobody said that. I had the verdict. The verdict app. Where's my damn verdict app? Verdict was very clear. Everyone's very clear. It was very clear. 4-1. 4-1.
Easy win. It was easy to say Leon Edwards won the fight.
4-1.
Why did Colby raise his hands like he won though?
Because that's the character he plays, right? And so he did that, but then he broke. I don't know if you were paying attention at this point in time, because it was later.
Okay.
So he goes, I thank the first responders. He does this whole gimmick, right? And then at the end, he's saying like, I'm thanking you guys again for coming. You know, sorry to put on a boy. And then they're still booing him. He finally broke. And he goes, "F you broke bitches."
Yeah,
you remember this?
You loved that, didn't you?
He totally broke.
What do you mean he broke? What do you mean?
Because he was trying to do the I'm a good American. Thank you to the first responders. I'm not a scumbag. I thank you guys for coming out. And then he couldn't take it anymore. He said, "Fuck you, broke bitches."
You're so stupid, bro.
That was what he said. What do you mean you saw it? I saw it in his eyes say, "F these people."
I saw it. Bro,
okay, you saw it too.
But then it's like, and if there was fear that people would celebrate him like you losing, now he's got like John Jones.
We're gonna dance on his grave. This is Daniel. This is how you know Colby is the ultimate bad guy. People from all different walks of life. Well, I don't see eye to eye with John Jones on a lot. I'm sure I do on some, you know. But everyone who's went past Colby, George Masvidal, John Jones, we all think he sucks. No one. Tell me one person who said Colby Covington is a great stand-up man.
Well, it just seems like since the fight, everybody's kind of coming out saying the opposite. It feels like now they're all saying the opposite of him, like that he was. John Jones said he was going to buy Leon Edwards a motorcycle because Colby he dealt with Colby. Colby's just a bad guy.
That's what I'm saying.
But I mean, this is not like we're going like there's not like these aren't pillars of society that are calling.
But this is what I'm saying. I'm saying you can have people from all different walks of life, and anyone who's crossed this guy's path says this is not a good dude.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and obviously, like he's been a few places, but I don't know, man. I just kind of wanted to know why you thought. I really wanted to know why you thought he fought. Like it was the most.
I think he had to be scared. I can't come up with another. I can't. I mean, it's right. What are the other options? They thought it was a good strategy. Nah, there's no way that's the case. Did he throw the fight? There's an option. That's probably unlikely.
No, he would not have thrown the fight.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But what are the options? Go through all the options. He's scared. He threw the fight. He thought it was a good strategy. Like, what are the actual options for his behavior?
I think Leon was just a lot better than him. And he recognized it very quick, and he figured safety.
But the only way, this from wrestling. What's the only way to beat someone who's way better than you?
Wrestle him hard as hell.
Go gas him out.
Go after him.
That's
it.
Go
gas him out and just go after him. If somebody's way better than you, you just try as hard as you damn can and hope that they make a mistake to let you in the match. It really is. Hey, what did you make of Colby calling out Stephen Wonderboy Thompson?
I think he watched Shavkat take him down a bunch and said that's my easiest possible option. Right?
You think he fights Shavkat if they offer him that?
I think I would like to see Colby against. I don't want to see Wonderboy. I love Wonderboy. He's older. He needs to be done. I know he said he likes fighting. I don't love watching guys get older. We'll talk about Ferg probably. It's sad, right? We don't like seeing guys get old. I think Sean Brady would be a good option. He's an up and comer, ranked a couple spots below Colby. I think I would go Leon if I'm making the matches. Leon and Brawl, Shavkat, and Colby. If Colby can beat Shavkat, give him another shot.
Give him another shot. I think Colby's done with title shots, bro.
Man,
I think he's done with title shots.
If he beats Shavkat,
I think he's done with title shots. They will be so hesitant to give him another title shot after what we saw last weekend. Yeah. But yes, I do agree Bilal should be next. But bro, even Bilal should be scared though. Dana White won't commit to him as the next guy, which I don't understand why. And even Leon's trying to no-sell him. Leon's like, I don't think Bilal should be next. What more does a man got to do?
I don't know. I don't know why Leon's doing that. I'm not really sure. I don't know. I have no good reasons for that one.
It's kind of weird too because Leon went through the same thing.
He had
to win a whole bunch of fights to get his title fight.
Yeah, and just being a good guy and not really like a performer or a trash talker that Leon is, I feel like his thing should be give me the next guy up. If I'm gonna fight whoever the next guy is, give me the next guy up. I'll fight him.
Ugh, rough, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. This division's fun though. All right, before I get you out of here. So, as we're getting ready for UFC 296. All the talk was of David Goggins now training Tony Ferguson. I said something about David Goggins publicly because I respect the hell out of the guy. I think the guy is a stud. I think the mental strength that he has on display and everything is like second to none. This guy is a savage.
Mm-hmm.
But what I said was, Tony Ferguson went through hell week, and of course he did. He's a world-class athlete. You remember I said that?
Yeah, of course he did.
You, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know how I'm supposed to interact with David Goggins because he likes fighting, and I'm pretty sure guys like that, when you are, if he's into something like that, it becomes big news in MMA, they really tap into what's going on in MMA, especially when it's talking about them. So him and I, we're around each other, but we're not talking. So I'm like, I wonder if this guy saw what I said. Because I said something like he's a guy that runs. It's always like, it's a very odd thing. Then finally he said, "What's up, man?" to me. So then we talked a little bit. We discussed Tony Ferguson and Tony Ferguson retiring. Even David Goggins said that he thinks it should be time for Tony Ferguson.
Really?
Bro.
I mean, everyone sees it.
Not Tony. Tony said he ain't going nowhere.
Everyone but Tony.
Fortunately. How impressed were you by one, Paddy Pimblett?
None.
And two,
what's two?
What? And two, is it time for Tony Ferguson to be gone, man?
Yes.
It's time for him to retire. That.
How tired was Paddy going in the third round? None.
You can't just say none.
Bro, Paddy was so tired. You know what I'm mad about Tony Ferguson for? He went through hell week, but my man forgot how to folk style wrestle. This guy wrestled his whole life. He wrestled in college at Grand Valley State. He forgot to stand up. He forgot to sit out.
He plays jiu-jitsu. He's done jiu-jitsu for so long, and he's gotten so good at it that he kind of plays jiu-jitsu.
But it's losing.
It is losing.
It's losing. I mean, Paddy was so tired in the third. You guys said it, right? You nailed it. You could see it in his eyes. Paddy was so tired. I mean, what about not getting Tony? You also wrestled. How about you could go get a takedown. Like, so this is exactly what we said, is like, you're working on your cardio, but you should be working on your skills, because if you had the
He
ability to
didn't look
get,
tired though. He did not look
of
tired.
course he wasn't tired. He went through Hell Week. Of course not.
You're right. So to get to David Goggins' credit, he had Tony in shape.
Yeah, but he just needed to do a takedown or a stand up. I mean, Pimblett was so tired. Going into the third round, it felt like if Tony could get back up, Paddy was going to break.
Isn't it kind
Go ahead.
isn't it kind of weird when people compare, especially these foreigners, right? Europeans.
Mhm.
Everybody wants to compare them to Conor McGregor.
Yes.
Even Paddy Pimblett's
Ian
manager,
Gary also.
Ian Gary too, right? But even Paddy
Mhm.
Pimblett's manager the other day said, put Paddy versus Conor. Everybody would watch that. Would you?
Well, I mean, Conor needs someone he can beat. Hey, I want to tell you, I predicted Conor McGregor would not fight in 2023. We are at December 20th, 2023. Rewind the tape. Luis, go find it. You know I said it. I am not under the belief that Conor McGregor is ever going to fight regularly. I just saw he came out with this thing and said, I'm going to fight 3 or 4 times in the next year. That ain't going to happen.
You don't think
man.
so?
He's fought 4 times in 6 years. Why would he fight 3 or 4 times in 1 year? That's crazy talk. I'm not even convinced he's fighting Michael Chandler. I'm
Really?
still not. He ain't fighting in 2023. We're here. There's no more fights. He didn't make the walk.
Hey, Ben, so you just don't think Paddy Pimblett's good?
What do you think? I don't know. I don't think he's very skilled.
Really? Why?
I mean, like, he's all right. Like, he's like he is like a mid-level UFC guy who can put on entertaining fights. But he's not particularly good anywhere. Like, he's not overly good anywhere. He gets tired, right? That's happened a couple of times. He didn't look great in the third round against Jared Gordon. He didn't look great in the third round against Tony Ferguson. Yeah, I just think if they put him with someone who's more skilled, he's going to get beat. But he is a big draw. Maybe you just keep putting him against guys his own skill level that he can, beat or have competitive fights with.
It just kind of feels like after that fight week last year with Jared Gordon,
Yeah,
it's like, man, like his flame has been kind of cooled off a lot. Because for a while he was like the man. Everybody loved him. And this time it just didn't feel the same. It didn't feel as big because Paddy Pimblett was there. And I don't know if that's a credit to the depth of the card, because it was an amazing card, or maybe people just aren't as interested in Paddy Pimblett. You remember he released that video of Dana and him talking about the messages and all that other shit, and he just
I don't remember this.
Dude, you don't remember that last year when he was about to fight Jared Gordon? He got into a big fight, him and Ariel, and
yeah.
it was like all those and people just like turned on him, and it feels like it just like it kind of like just like kind of like extinguished his fire a little bit. It was weird, man, to see a kid go from being so hot to like not really having that type of effect on people anymore, especially so fast. But then I thought this week he had a good week, right? He had no hiccups. He didn't say anything out of line. He fought a guy in Tony Ferguson who it's hard to beat, right? Because even though you beat him, people are like, that's one of my favorites of all time, and he's old now, and you beat him.
Yeah.
He
That's
was in a
another possibility that
situation.
people like Tony, so they're less likely to cheer for Paddy because Tony lost 6 in a row. We all wanted to see him win. We all wanted to see the old guy get one more.
Dude, it's so crazy watching Tony too, because he's like, he doesn't see it. Like, I don't know how he does that. Like, how does he not see what seems so clear to everybody else that it's time? How does he not see? How does he do that? How does he do that? That's some mind control over
Has
himself.
anyone ever like really interviewed him and said
he fights with you? Whenever you interview him, he just fights with you and argues with you.
Yeah. So that's his person. He's very disagreeable. That's his personality type. I don't know. It's so, I mean, right. This is the bad thing. This is the bad thing with fighters in particular, where, the key is to go over the hill, right? You get the over the hill and you go a little bit down because, you still got a little bit left, but you got to retire before you get all the way down here, right? Because we're all going to get there. Nobody's been fighting till they're 60. We're all going to get to the point where we're not very good anymore. And the key is to retire before you take too many L's. Tony's got 7 in a row. We've seen other people do it.
And Anderson did it. Anderson did it.
Anderson
Those
did
guys.
it. Yeah.
Those guys like all
BJ.
lose a lot of fights at the end. BJ Penn, bro, that was hard to watch. And BJ
That was
Penn
hard to
over.
watch because everyone loved him, right?
Yeah, but
like,
then Tony's not. At least Tony's not getting like destroyed. But then, how far back can you take him? Because I'm pretty sure he makes decent money. How far back can you take him now? Because Paddy Pimblett is at the very fringe of the top 15. Are you now taking Tony back to fight guys that are not even in the top 15? Or does the UFC get rid of him? Does the UFC really cut a Tony Ferguson?
I swear I saw that on Twitter. There's the one I don't.
You are literally the most fake news person I've ever met. You are fake news. Like
I
nobody
do not do fake news,
bro. You are fake news.
Listen. Here's what I'm saying. I'm gonna tell you. I read this. I don't know if it's true. I'm gonna tell you what I read. I read that he got cut from the roster.
Twitter, man.
You
gotta stop believing everything on Twitter.
Twitter is a great source of information. Maybe the greatest source of information that human beings have ever had.
Are you serious?
For real. Think about it. Anyone could post. It's an aggregation of all the things people say. You can follow once you know someone's full of crap because you see them be full of crap. You know, okay, this guy, I ain't gonna trust them. This guy, you know who the real smart ones are? I'll tell you who the real. Here's how I figure out real smart ones. You got to pay close attention. It's the guys who say it before it happens, right? Everyone can give you the retrospective. Here's why this happened in the past, right? But when the guys say, here's what is going to happen, and they nail it like a whole bunch of times, that's the real smart ones.
Okay, Ben. Yeah. Ben, you're becoming a great source for like breaking information. You got the Robert Whitaker injury and everything. You're the man, Ben. You're taking this MMA media thing like
boots on the ground.
You're the boots on the ground, dog. Hey, Ben, man, thanks for doing this. As always, bro, I appreciate you. Get some rest, enjoy the holidays. Because you know what it is? It's the most wonderful time of the year. You know what it is. You know what it is, man.
What was that other song you sang that one time?
Shut up.
Some cake.
Shut up.
What the hell was that song?
Shut up. Like, subscribe, tell your friend to tell a friend.
Find the cake and chicken
got a
video.
YouTube channel, and then I'm doing stuff like this with Ben Askren. Make sure you guys follow Ben Askren everywhere. Shut your ass up, Ben. Until next time. Peace.